everybody, and welcome to episode 8 of the Tactics Board. I am your host, as always, Natalie Pike, and I am joined by my co-host, Karl. What are you wearing?
I honestly didn't even know I had this on, and I'm embarrassed. This is a Paris Saint-Germain top, so it's just a little bit of a nod to the game last night. I don't know, did you see it, Natalie?
What game are you talking about?
PSG City. I don't know if you saw it.
What, those, those two favourites for the Champions League? Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, one came out on top, didn't they? Messi. Oh, what a goal that was. That must have cut you deep, did it?
Not in the slightest, mate. It was a world-class finish, as was Idrissa Gueye. I thought we played really, really well. I'm totally fine with it.
Oh,
if we'd have got beaten to, say, a team like Young Boys, then clearly I would be in a state right now and worried about the future, not only of my manager, but of my club and of my Champions League future. So we are recording this before Manchester United plays Villarreal in the Champions League tonight as well, by the way. So if you're watching this after that game and they've got beaten, I can assure you that I will be hammering Karl on WhatsApp non-stop.
Right, perfect. I thought you'd have a Young Boys top on underneath that.
Do you know what? If they were a big enough club that they sold those shirts in this country, then I would have.
Perfect.
Not like you just pick up a Paris Saint-Germain one everywhere, you go.
You can these days.
I actually have a Man City jumper on, but it's fine. That's just because I literally just wear the club shop 24/7, mate, all the time. Well, thank you very much for joining us. After that fun exchange there, we will talk fantasy football. As always, you can join our Sky Sports Fantasy Football League. Now, we really are aiming to get to 1,000 people in the league. We're on 800 and something at the minute, so we'd love you to join. We're going to be doing some more really good giveaways really soon, so this is the time to get in. Great. I'm going to try and do it, Karl. 9976717.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
It's only taken 8 weeks.
I only get the last few. I get the last 3 digits, and I'm like, oh yeah, I've nailed it. But no, yeah, we've got there. Yes,
we did it. So join us. Come and join us, please. How was your week, Karl? I mean, in terms of fantasy football, not personally. I'm not bothered.
All right. Yeah. Personally, it was quite good. But in terms of football, not so good. I got 44 points. 2 players got me 0. Bruno Fernandes got me -1. But yeah, in general with sport, what a weekend it was for underdogs. Aston Villa beat Manchester United, fair play. Usyk beat Anthony Joshua, and Manchester City beat Chelsea. So yeah,
the Premier League champions.
It's too easy. It's too easy to get these bites today. It's too easy, Natalie. It's too easy. But no, yeah, what a weekend it was. And how was your weekend with fantasy football?
I love the fact that you're deflecting so badly away from your team's defeat. So yeah, mine was okay. I got 54 points. I made the decision to sub out Gundogan, which was good because it obviously didn't end up playing. But then I put in Neves and he only got me 2 points. So I am going to make a couple of changes this week. You know what? I feel like my team's nearly there. It just needs a couple more tweaks. And one of them in the goalkeeper section, I'll talk about a little bit later on. But I've got Alexander-Arnold as well, who obviously is not going to play. Klopp said he's not going to play this weekend, so I'm going to get him out as well. So a few tweaks. But do you know, I like to ask you, because I can never find it on the app, where are you in our league now?
Where am I in my league? Let me check.
So I am 484th. So I'm still sitting around halfway.
You ask me every week because you want to be in front of me, and so far you've not been. But whether you are this week, you may be. Let me just have a look.
At some point I will be.
Where am I? Here we go. Right, you ready? Oh, what are you? What did you say?
484.
484. Oh, I'm 393.
Oh,
I'm still in front, but it's not far off. It's
getting. You were about 400 ahead of me at some point because I had that disastrous first week. Because I was like the only person in the world that didn't have Ronaldo and Bruno Pogba. But that's fine because, Karl, on a serious note, Bruno Fernandes. -1 he scored in the game this week. He missed that penalty. Is it time to dump Fernandes?
I don't know. Yeah, -1. Yeah, it wasn't a great penalty, was it? It wasn't his best. It's probably still in the air somewhere. But is it time to transfer him out? I'm not sure, but I get why that question's being asked, though, because nearly 50% of players have him in their side. but only 6% of the top 1K do. And at 11.8 million
Really?
pounds, exactly, 11.8 million pound, if he's not getting you the points, could you reinvest that money elsewhere? And to me, the fact that 6% of the top 1K, only 6% have him, that's making me, I'm not changing him yet, but it's making me question it going forward a little bit.
He's never taken a penalty for you again, and we know, jokes aside, that that's how he got the majority of his goals last year.
That's fine. If he doesn't take a penalty for a while, that's fine because we've got Ronaldo. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about us. We'll be fine.
Okay, so time to dump Fernandes, maybe. I mean, I'm just saying time to dump all your United players, because how many people were let down by Shaw at the weekend as well? Come on.
I've been let down by City players week in, week out.
Only because they don't play.
Yeah, exactly. I had Ferran Torres. Ferran Torres, 0 points.
Mate, I swear I told you not to have him. Like, there was a handful of City players worth having.
But to be honest, I think Ferran Torres is the most transferred out player this week because he's just getting you zeros. If I wanted a City midfielder, because I'm mature about it, I don't mind who, I just want to win. Who would you recommend?
Well, it was Gundogan, but he's injured now until at least the 16th. So Gundogan was always the one to play. I told everyone, Gundogan is more likely to start. He's in a kind of group of 3 or 4 players that will start, I would think. Jack Grealish has started every game so far this season, but then I don't think Grealish was great last night. So I'm wondering if come Sunday we might see a change there. I still have Grealish in my team. I'm not going to transfer him out because I've got other places that need it more. But I think there's a chance Grealish might drop out. Otherwise, he has started every game this season so far.
Yeah.
So it would be. Do you know what? At the minute, your most reliable midfielder is Rodri, but he doesn't massively provide assists and goals, and so it's Gundogan. When he's fit, it's Gundogan.
Yeah, no, fair play. We might see. You never know. You might have Foden now starting a few more games, but we will see. Shall we get on with the team of the week?
Yes, absolutely. So do join our league again, 997-6717. We'll have a look at the team of the week now. And let's, first of all, let's have a good old chat about this goalkeeper, shall we? I'll let you take the lead here, Karl.
Oh, thank you very much. So, let's talk about Martinez, Aston Villa's goalkeeper Martinez, who got you 16 points this week. And let me just start off, before we analyse him a little bit, I think Arsenal made a huge mistake letting him go. I absolutely loved Martinez this week, even though it was against my side. I just loved his taunting and his daring, and he's just like the dark horse, giving verbals to Cristiano Ronaldo, saying, "You take the pen, you take the pen."
Yes.
Well, he did the same. He did the same in the summer at the Copa America for Argentina. He was giving verbals to, I think it was Yerry Mina for Colombia, when he's walking up to the penalty spot. He was like, "You're nervous, you're nervous. I know where it's going. I'm meeting you up." I just love those players that will do anything to win. And fair play. It was against my side. Wasn't ideal, but I rate him. Fair play, Martinez, mate.
Yeah. I absolutely, that just made my weekend. Loved his just getting in the air there, and obviously got the 5 points there for the penalty save, 7 for the clean sheet, 2 for the starting, and a bonus 2 for saves here as well. So we've got a huge 16 points this week. Obviously, I'm absolutely gutted because I've been tossing between him and Schmeichel all season. And Leicester have only kept 1 clean sheet in the last 12 league matches now. So Schmeichel is coming out of my team. And I'll tell you later on who I'm going to be putting in, and it's not Martinez. I'm going in a different direction.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Let's move on. Let's get them all out of the way. All the Aston Villa players out of the way.
Yeah.
Let's get it done so we can enjoy the rest of the team of the week. Courtney Hause, 17 points. Main reason why he's here, yes, really good header. His movement, he lost Cavani for the corner, and his movement, great header. But he did also give away the penalty, but luckily for Aston Villa, it was missed. It wasn't really saved by Emiliano Martinez. He didn't really have to do much.
He just feel like he's stolen the points there.
Watched it go over the bar. But
but it was all the gameplay, so he deserves them, though he deserves the points. I'll take it back.
It was the verbals. But Courtney Hause selected by 0.17%. So I don't think there's going to be a big groundswell of players putting him in their side. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. But he's starting 11, the goal, the clean sheet. I mean, goal for a defender, that's always the one that you're looking for. You get a man with 7 points for that, and obviously he was man of the match as well. I don't think there'll be a massive amount of people putting him in, but I think people will definitely be keeping an eye on him to see how he gets on and how Villa get on. They've got Spurs, Wolves and Arsenal, so a tricky I mean, definitely a tricky run of fixtures there. Who knows how it'll go with Spurs, but that kind of Midlands derby then, and then a revived Arsenal. So that's going to be a tough couple of games for them now, probably.
Definitely is. Let's move on to another defender, shall we? Who want to get out of the way with Laporte.
We've got two.
You do it.
Two City defenders there in the team of the week. The first one being the lovely Aymeric Laporte. I'm just surprised that it's him and not Diaz, to be honest. But I'm really happy with that as well. So he got the starting 11, the clean sheet points, obviously. He got a yellow card, so he got the -1. But where he's got built up his points is he's got the bonus points for passes. So he's got 3 there as well. Obviously, City are unbelievably defensively solid. So far, 6 Premier League games, 5 clean sheets, conceded 1 goal, which was that first game of the season against Tottenham. Chelsea had no shots on target at the weekend. We are so defensively solid, which is why obviously João Cancelo is also in there. But Laporte specifically has come back in this season. Last year it was a Diaz-Stones partnership that was so unbelievable. Stones can't get a look in at the minute, no fault of his own, because Laporte is just playing so well. It doesn't surprise me that it's 2.64% of players have him, because I think if you were having a City defender, you'd have Diaz, because I have Diaz. But, great game, great defence by City.
Yeah, but if we are looking at City as a group, defenders as a group, so if we take Laporte now and Cancelo, going into that game, what the question marks over them, I had a little bit, was it's a really big test in it coming up against Romelu Lukaku. But to be fair to City and to be fair to you, it was a test they passed with flying colours. And we know that City defenders can play well with the ball at the feet. They get you points week in, week out for those passes. They really, really coped well with that physical threat of Romelu Lukaku. Really good. And that's why I thought, like you did, Diaz would have been in here as well, but no. Cancelo and Laporte. Not bad, though. You'll take that, won't you?
Oh, yeah, I'll take it. And Cancelo also, as you rightly say, Cancelo also got the bonus points for passes as well. So again, the starting 11, the clean sheet, he got an assist as well, which you are going to get with Cancelo throughout the season. And then the passes bonus. The thing for me with Cancelo is I'm always going to keep Diaz in my team. So with Cancelo, I just wonder, is it, how do I feel about having 2 City players in defence? I probably wouldn't do it with the Liverpool game this weekend, but going forward, I'm tempted by it because we just look so solid. How do you feel about doubling up on a team's players?
You know what? Well, in any position, really, it's always tricky. Because at the moment, I've got Ronaldo and Bruno Fernandes. I've got Alonso. I haven't got another Chelsea player, but it does go through my head. I think that I've got Ferran Torres, like I said to you before. I have been looking at Cancelo. I think if I took Ferran Torres out, I could get Cancelo. Ideally, I wouldn't do it because if you have a good game, it's obviously brilliant. But if you have a bad game, it's just dreadful, isn't it, having multiple players? Have you got any double ups?
No, I haven't. I've got 2 City players, Diaz and Grealish. Apart from that, I've got Salah and Trent, but obviously different positions, and I've got every different team covered at the minute. Yeah. So I haven't, because I agree with you. If you have a bad game, it becomes, if they have a bad game, it becomes a stinker for you. But I am tempted. I'm really tempted by Cancelo. So 13 points from him. He's selected by 11.68% of players, which is no surprise to me. Now we've got coming obviously Liverpool at the weekend, and there's that international break, and then we have Burnley and Brighton. So I think I'm expecting to see that 11% for Cancelo go up. I think more and more people are going to start getting onto him.
I completely agree. And let's move on now, shall we, to midfield, shall we?
Yes.
It's a tricky bit for me. We've done City, we've done Villa, but midfield, Brentford's got you 11 points. He got you a goal. But Brentford, Natalie, they were brilliant, weren't they? Weren't they so good?
Something we can always agree on when a team takes Liverpool, toe to toe.
Oh,
we're always happy with that.
Perfect. And we've said pretty much every week, haven't we, me and you, that Tony is brilliant. But what a handful he was for Liverpool's defence all game. And don't forget, that's a defence that includes Virgil van Dijk, who's really tested himself up against the best. But in terms of Brentford players in general, I wouldn't necessarily look to put a load in your team as yet, just because of their upcoming fixtures. They've got West Ham away, Chelsea at home, and then Leicester at home. They are tricky fixtures, but saying that, they've just drew with Liverpool, haven't they? And they beat Arsenal in the opening day, so take that with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, they're fighting. But what it seems that we're going to get from Brentford for this whole season is they're going to fight in every game, and they're not afraid like you say, if the Brentford fans were happy with that, opening day win with Arsenal, then they must have just been ecstatic, taking, not beating Liverpool, but the way they fought and, getting a draw, and they looked like they could have nicked it at the end. They really did. So Brentford fans must just be ecstatic at the minute. And so he's got you points for starting 11, 6 for the goal, and he was man of the match. Only selected by 0.06% of people. He was a breakout star for them last year. He was fantastic in the Championship. But I guess, I imagine Tony is the most picked Brentford player still, and I still have him in my team. So moving on to the rest of the midfield, we then have 2 Arsenal players. We have the Arsenal Academy shining through at last. Arsenal have turned it around. So both Saka and Smith Rowe make the team of the week. So Saka first, Karl.
Yeah, so Saka, what a performance. I mean, we used to make a siren or something, or a drum roll every time an Arsenal player was in.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
Now, as they're turning the team round, we're not doing it because they're in pretty much week in, week out. And Bukayo Saka, what a performance. He got you 13 points. What a performance from Arsenal in the first half. Good performance from Bukayo Saka. And I did hear, Natalie, Spurs fans singing, "You let your country down," obviously, so that penalty. But Saka definitely heard it as well, which I like. He took it personally and he made them pay all game. He ran Spurs ragged. But I do think, in reference to that penalty miss, I think that penalty miss at the Euros has been a bit of a making of him. He's 8.5 million, selected by 10.35%. And hopefully, it's a sign of things to come for Arsenal fans and Bukayo Saka. And having Emile Smith-Rowe as well, let's move on to him, 14 points. Great for Arsenal's academy, like you say, to have Saka and Smith-Rowe. Players with Arsenal DNA, not only in their squad, but in their first 11. And I think that's the difference. It's all well and good having players from the academy in your squad, but when you're starting them and when they're being such key, vital players for you. And in his post-match interview, he was like, "Oh, this is the best day of my life."
Yeah.
And I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
I was like, I rate that, Emile, I do. And it was a vital win for Arteta, for Arsenal. Obviously, bad news for Espirito Santo, and the rumours about him staying at Spurs are swirling already, aren't they?
My God, Spurs need to chill out with the managers, don't they? But something that all football fans agree is the thing that we like most in our team is to see homegrown players that have grown up with their club in their, something we have it with Phil Foden, you have it with Marcus Rashford. It is the best thing that you can happen to a football fan. So the fact that they've got 2 academy players that have come through there, so young, there's definitely a lot of positives for Arsenal to be taken at the minute. So Saka got you 13 points, as you said. He's selected by 10% of the team. Smith Rowe, 14 points, selected only by 1.53%. I think that's massively going to go up now that Arsenal have started turning it around. So they've got Brighton away, Palace at home, and then Villa at home. So games that Arsenal should be targeting getting good points from. So Smith Rowe, I think his the number of people with him is going to go up quickly.
No, I agree. And let's move on now to our final midfielder, shall we? Everton's Decore, who got you 13 points. He can run all day long. He got his goal. He was assisted by Damari Gray, who I highlighted last week as my one to watch. But Everton had some key names missing, but they still got the results, so fair play to them. They've got United up this weekend. Difficult run coming up.
That's going to be a tough one for you guys. There's a lot of pressure now on you guys to get this elusive win.
Nah, it's fine. We don't feel pressure. Pressure makes diamonds, so don't worry about it. It's fine.
Oh, very nice. Woo! But for him, it was only to play his second goal in 6 Premier League matches, which equals his tally from last season. So he's already equaled this year from last season, and also he's had 3 assists so far this season. That's the total number that he had last season. So he is totally come out of the blocks there for Everton. I read an interview with him this week that was talking about the tiny little tweaks that he's made in his game that have made all the difference. So great performance from him. Only selected by 0.91% of people. But tough fixtures. Man United away, West Ham at home, and then Watford at home. So Everton have had a brilliant start. Perhaps a favourable set of fixtures. So this will really, we'll see what Everton are made of. Yeah. Hopefully strong stuff.
Let's move on now, to our strikers forward line. Jamie Vardy, who got you 16 points this week. 2 goals for Jamie Vardy, which gives him 5 goals in 6 Premier League games so far. Yep. And he was just a threat all game, Natalie. And the goals that he got came from his movement, came from his persistent. He was a pest. He's just like a mosquito. He doesn't give defenders a minute rest. He's all over the place. And I'm saying that as a compliment. He's in my team. I absolutely love him. I love his style of play. And
when you saw that he scored no goal to start with, did you think,
Really, I only saw it afterwards, and I was reading it down. But you do read that first, and you're like, "Oh my God, own goal!" And then it's good too, not too bad. So yeah, I just love him. I love Jamie Vardy. I love everything about him.
So we got the -2 for the own goal, but he still came away with 16 points because the man of the match, 2 goals, shots bonus. Yeah. Great, easy one to have in your team. We've got 3 up front in the team of the week, and the next one is Gabriel Jesus, who of course scored the match winner in our game against Chelsea. So he picked up 12 points this week with a goal, with a man of match performance, and bonuses for shots as well. I was thrilled for him that he got a goal because this season his work rate's been incredible. He's really sort of coming to his own with that new kind of right wing position that he's been playing, as opposed to that kind of typical sort of straight out in the middle forward. So I was thrilled with him because he's criminally underrated, in my opinion, because people consistently judge him against Sergio Aguero, which you just cannot do. So big shout out to Gabriel Jesus. Fits into the issue of Pep Roulette. So not surprised that only 3.96% of people have him.
Yeah, no, very fair. And yeah, it's been difficult for him. And I think, to be fair to City, I don't often give him compliments, but they were better than the 1-0 scoreline suggested, City, to be fair, the weekend. And that is as far as I'm going to go in complimenting Manchester City.
We'll take it there. Thank you, Bank.
Let's move on now, shall we, to our final striker, Raul Jimenez, who got you 12 points. Great goal. And it had been coming for him, really, hadn't it? I think he had a bit of a frustrating game the other week against Brentford, but he now seems back to his best. It's great news for him, great news for Wolves, and great news, to be fair, to the medical staff that got him back up and running. So, yeah, love to see it. What a
story. Yeah, his first goal since suffering that fractured skull. And what a goal. He just oozed class. It was just all about him. It was just brilliant. Only concern for him is that Mexico are still on the red list here. Mexico said that they are going to call him up for the internationals that are coming up. So we still don't know what's going on with the Premier League sorting that out. So if he does go, and you need, just for those that have got him, just be aware he might miss a few games. But hopefully the Premier League is just going to get that sorted. Yeah. Get it sorted out.
They will.
Lovely. He got 12 points there. 9 million selected by 1.22% of players. So this was my goalkeeper thing. Sarr, their goalkeeper, clocked the assist for this goal this week. Did you see it?
Yeah, they did. He did, didn't he? Long ball over.
He got the assist points for it. He got 15 points this week. Now, he is being picked now as the goalkeeper for 40% of the teams in the top 1,000. So the teams in the top 1K have spotted something. And so, right, so Schmeichel's a gunner from mine, and I am fully copycatting the top 1,000 teams. They've got Newcastle, Villa and Leeds coming up. So I am going to go for it, and I'm going to back him there for Wolves. And well done. You know, those top 1,000, they're not in the top 1,000 for no reason, are they, by the way? Picking up an assist from a goalkeeper.
I know, but that's what I mean. Do your research. You do your research, you get them little nuggets. And I think you might have found one. We'll see. I'm sticking with Mendy for now. But yeah, no, I certainly do get what you mean. And they're a favourable run of fixtures coming up, aren't they, really, for Wolves?
For sure. Right, let's move on to our ones to watch. And you know, we've been doing pretty well on these in recent weeks. We've actually been picking people that have then gone on to do good things, like.
Yeah, thank God. Do you want to go first, Natalie?
Yeah, I'll go first because I think my one is probably a little bit surprising this week.
Go on.
And if we're going to do our Arsenal drum roll that we were doing, I picked another Arsenal player.
Right.
Now, if I was going to put Arsenal players in my team right now, it would be Saka or it would be Smith Rowe. But for my one to watch, I've gone for someone on the other side, so the other end of the age scale. And I'm going to go for Aubameyang. Now, I think that's probably quite surprising for a lot of people, given he is fairly expensive. However, I thought he was so good in the Spurs game. It was such a captain's performance. You know, he's got these young players that have come through the academy round him, and he was leading them. He was showing them the way. And it was really reminiscent of 2 or 3 years ago when he was really, God, I loved him. Was it 18, 19 when he was phenomenal? God, I loved him. At that point, I would have been happy for City to sign him. I just thought he was brilliant. And then obviously he had last season, which was far from his best. But my thinking is, if he can replicate what he did in that Spurs game, then he's definitely one to watch. So that's me thinking.
But he's tricky though, isn't he, Aubameyang? He kind of runs hot and cold for me.
Yes.
And he doesn't seem to be doing it consistently. But if he is, like you say, if he gets on a run, he's a great one to watch, definitely.
Yeah. Right, who are you having?
Who am I going? I'm going for, and I don't know if this is cheating or not, because he was in our team of the week. He was in the team of the week, last week. I'm going with Ismail Assar. He's never been our one to watch, but I just want to highlight him again. He got 2 goals against Norwich the other week, 1 goal against Newcastle this weekend, and he's currently the highest scoring midfielder in the game. And we've stressed this before, that is because he's classed as a midfielder when he plays as a forward for Watford.
I'm just looking at him now on my thing. Never.
But the question is, Natalie, if you transfer him in now, I bet people will be like, oh, it's too late. Have you missed a boat? But I don't actually think you have, because he's going to be playing week in, week out for Watford. So he'll always be getting you those points. He'll always be picking you up them points every now and again. And that's
48 points this season so far.
That's what I mean. And that's £7.8 million for the highest scoring midfielder in the game. It's a bargain, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I've got Grealish in my team at 9. Ben Rama's also 7.8. So, yeah.
Yeah. So he is my one to watch.
What is he in the top 1,000? 29% of the top 1,000 have him.
There you go. But he's cheap. Do you know what I mean? He's just cheap. I just don't get why he's so cheap. But he is. So take advantage of it.
Yes,
do it.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to change my midfield this week, because I have to change my goalkeeper and I have to change Trent. But yeah, that's a great one to watch there.
Thank you.
Fab. Lovely. There we go. Oh, and it's just logged me out. Damn. Right. Well, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for watching the Tactics Board. We really appreciate it. We'd love it if you would go on and join our league. We're trying to get to 1,000 people in the league. And we have loads of giveaways, really good giveaways coming up. So this is the time to join. The code is 9976717. Get yourselves in there and see if you're immediately above my 484th position and Karl's 390.
Yeah, something like that. I'll take 390.
I wonder what our points difference is at the minute. I wonder what I need to make up to get to you. We'll need to look at that next week. Yeah, because I'm getting happy with my team. So thank you. Yeah, good luck tonight, Karl.
Thank you. I know you don't mean it, but I'll take it. Thank you.
And if you get beaten, I'm going to be unbearable next week.
Perfect. I'm not here next week if that happens. Just let you know. I've got that thing.
I am actually. I'm on holiday next week. I'm going to Centre Parks with my son. But if you get beaten tonight, I will 100% be filming this from Centre Parks. You'll see like the woodland in the background. I'll just be like to my son, just wait a minute.
Yeah.
Speak to Karl. Yeah.
All right, mate.
All right. Good luck with your picks, everybody, for this week, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you soon.